You're listening to Online Pet Health Podcasts with Dr. Megan Kelly. Continuing education for veterinarian rehabilitation therapists. Learn more at onlinepethealth.com.
Hey vet rehabbers, today we revisit a Facebook Live that I did with Carly Edwards on the 8 pillars of content creation for social media. Now, Carly is a pet business marketing coach and is a regular lecturer in our business area of the Online Pet Health membership. In addition to providing you with the continuing education you need to stay on top of your game in the vet rehab world, Online Pet Health also offers practical tips and advice to help you succeed in your practice. Now, we know that your time is limited, and so we offer you solutions that can save you time, help to grow your practice, and at the same time give you the work-life balance that you deserve. So, like it or not, social media is a part of our world. Without clients, we would have no practice, and we need to put ourselves out there to get in front of our potential clients and to continue to build relationships with the clients that we do have. This requires us being on social media. Now, if you're anything like me, I would sit at my computer or on my phone trying to think of something to post, and I would come up blank. I'd end up wasting so much time, and eventually I'd get a post out, just something out, and I had very little planning and I had no goals for my post whatsoever. I just needed a post out there. Carly now breaks down these 8 content pillars, and this is exactly what we should be thinking about when we're posting. So once you get a grip of these 8 pillars, you will never not have an idea about what to post. Carly also has a great subscription where she even writes the post for you. You can check this out on social on zoomies.com, and the link is in the description for this podcast. Before we head over to Carly's training, I'd love to connect with all of you on social media, on Instagram. So take a screenshot of the podcast, post it on Instagram, tag me at Online Pet Health, and let's get connected. It's great hearing from you, knowing that you're joining me each week and listening to the Veterinary Rehabilitation Podcast. So a quick shout out and thank you to Martina Albano. Thank you for recommending the Veterinary Rehabilitation Podcast. She has an Instagram handle of The Blooming Dog. Martina, please can you get hold of me via email? Email me at megan@onlinepethealth.com. I'd love to send you a limited edition veterinary rehabilitation mug. So let's head over to Carly for some social media training.
Hey vet rehabbers, thank you so much for joining us. She is a marketer for helping people with their pet businesses and especially in marketing, and she's really helped a lot of us already. Carly, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's good to be here.
So today we're going to be chatting to Carly about social media and really looking at 8 content pillars. And I love this idea because, obviously now at Online Pet Health, we have meetings and we schedule everything. But before I had my whole team of people, it used to just be me. And I used to sit there going, what do I post today? And then I got a little bit more advanced and had a little bit of a schedule, but I still sat there looking at my schedule saying, what can I create? So Carly, I think this is going to be so valuable. So Carly, to start off with, I think let's look at what should we be posting on social media? What are the things that we should be doing to try and connect with our audience?
Yeah, so I'll talk about these 8 content pillars, and then you can ask those questions and things. So yeah, there are 8 content pillars that I do teach, and this really helps to essentially put your content into categories. So if you have something like then a weekly or a monthly plan, you know that on each day, whatever day that is, you need to post a piece of content from this category or that category. So it really helps to give you a bit of a strategy so you know kind of the overarching kind of idea of what that post is going to be, and then you can kind of form that plan and that content from that. So that's really what this is about, and my clients do actually really love this because it gives them a bit of structure. So I'm going to walk you through kind of what each of these are and how you can actually use them. So the first one is story posts. And this is where you are really looking to build that kind of know, like, and trust factor with your audience. This is really, really important, especially at the moment in the age that we're living in, because people are craving that deeper connection with other people. We've all had a pretty tough time over the last couple of years. And people want to, your customers, they want a bit more from you when they're looking at your feed on, your Facebook page or Instagram, wherever that is that you're promoting yourself. They want to feel that kind of human to human connection. So story posts where you're essentially sharing about, what you're passionate about, why you do what you do, quick little things as well, where you're sharing what's happening in your life, what's happened, your past experiences, your life experiences, your work experience, all of that stuff that's giving people a much, much deeper insight into who you are as a person. So that's what that is all about. It's just building that story around kind of who you are, not the faceless kind of business that people often see, but more of the person behind that who actually runs that business. So they're really, really important to build that connection with people. So the next one, the second one, is tips posts. And this is where you're really sharing value with your audience. So this is really important as well. So this is where you step into that expertise of yours and you share lots of value with your customers around, tips that are actually going to help them to achieve something very specific. So it's helping them to actually solve, a quick win where they can solve a particular problem they're having with their pet at the moment. So it's obviously showing that you're a professional, you're an expert in this space, and you're giving people a chance to understand that the stuff that you're actually talking about. So tips posts are really important within this strategy to build up that kind of authority in your space as well. So when you're thinking about this, just think about, what you actually know right now as a professional in your field, and start making just a list of topics that you can really talk about there. So, obviously you've got, a breadth of knowledge in your area. So there's probably going to be tons and tons of just topics that you can jot down, which you can then just pull from to share a social media post, right? It's giving you a great starting point for a social post for your channels. The third one is opinion posts. And this is really, further solidifying your authority in your space, where you're sharing about your, opinions and your perspectives in your industry. So this is things like, what you stand for and what you stand against. It's sharing things around, your values, what matters to you as a person and as in your business as a whole. So it's really about putting your flag in the sand and sometimes potentially getting a little bit controversial. That can happen. And don't be afraid to actually do that. You might polarize people a little bit when you're sharing more kind of controversial topics, but that's okay. It's totally okay to do that. It just means that those people that agree with you, that have the same viewpoints, the same perspectives as you, they're going to be more drawn towards you and your brand. Yeah, it's a really good thing to do because it can help get a lot of engagement on that post itself, because it really does bring people out of the woodwork to kind of comment on your posts. So they are a great one to do. So don't shy away from those, because people do tend to fear that a little bit because they just fear rocking the boat slightly and they don't want to anger people, but it's a good thing to do. You might push people away. That's totally okay. They were probably never right for your business, to begin with, but you'll be drawing those people that are, your ideal customers. They'll be drawn closer to you. So a really good one to do. The next one's number 4 is connection builders. And this is where you are sharing content to show that you understand your customer. So you're getting really you're putting yourself into their shoes. You're kind of painting that picture of what their life is like right now. So all of those little problems that they have, all of those daily challenges that they have in their lives, you're kind of getting really specific with what that looks like for them right now. So it's showing that, you get it. You totally get it where they're at right now. So really think about some of those big challenges and problems that they're experiencing and start, writing about that and putting that into social posts. And then with that, you can also go on to talking about, the solution that you actually provide, what the benefits of that solution is, and then even within those posts as well, you can add like a call to action to say, come talk to me if you want to chat further about this, if you want help with this. So it can be as simple as that. So they're a really, really good one as well. It just really helps to kind of, solidify that connection even further with your audience, because you're showing that you really get them. So the 5th pillar is promotional posts. So these are just, they are what they are. They're just literally you promoting your business and putting forward a call to action to get people to take action on that post, to go and visit like a sales page, to DM you, to book a kind of discovery call type thing with you. A lot of people, I think, particularly in this space, they tend to shy away as well from promotional posts. It tends to be something that people either do too much of, and literally their entire content feed is filled with promotional posts where they're just saying, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. Or they go the other way and they completely shy away from it, and their feed is essentially filled up with lots of other posts, other types of posts, just like photos of the clients they might be working with, that kind of thing, but they don't actually ask for the sale. And that's the important part here. So this is where you are showing exactly how you can help them. You're painting that picture again of what life could look like for them when that problem is solved. So you're sharing the details of what it is that you're offering there, how you can actually help them. And then you're putting in a call to action to say, click here if you want to learn more and buy this thing, or talk to me about this, chat to me about this, and we can talk about how we can help you further with this. So it's really, really simple. It's just, putting it straight out there. This is how I can help you, and this is how you can take that further and get in touch with us. So promotional posts. The next pillar is testimonial posts. So these could be testimonials, or they could be case studies. And this is where you're really kind of building credibility and social proof for your business. So you could quite easily just pull, these are really simple to create as well, because your customers have created the content for you. Well, most of it anyway. But you can pull testimonials from your website that you've put onto your kind of sales pages, that kind of thing. You can pull them from your Facebook page reviews, literally just copy and paste the words that they've left there for the review. And then just say, I've loved seeing this testimonial from XYZ customer. It's been an absolute joy helping you. And then you just copy and paste that quote into the caption. But then what you can also do is just create a quote image within Canva with those words on that and just share it as is. But these are great for social proof because it shows that, you're helping customers already achieve what they want to achieve with their dog, helping them to, relieve pain of some sort with their dog. You're showing that you've already done that and you can help them do the same. So these are so powerful, and these should be filtered through your content as well. So all of these, there should be a lovely mix of all of these. Okay, so the next one is lead magnets. So if you're not familiar with what a lead magnet is, it's essentially a valuable piece of content that you offer in exchange for your customer's email address. So they enter their email details, their name and their email address, into a form on your website. And then an email is automatically triggered in an email system, and they are then sent the download for that thing. So this is helping them to solve a very, very specific problem that they have. It's giving them some quick wins to help them with that problem, right? So it's a nice, valuable piece of content that they can just get for free and be introduced to your business. So what we do here is actually just share and mix into your content strategy posts that are promoting this lead magnet. So it's a list building exercise, and it's a way for you to get people onto your email list and off social media and stop relying on social media so much. Because email marketing is one of the most lucrative forms of marketing available. It really, really is. And also, there can be problems with social media, with, the algorithms. At the moment as well, lots of people are reporting to me and saying, I've experienced it myself, that reach has gone way, way down, engagement has gone way, way down. So we're looking for ways that we can use the algorithm to our advantage as well with all of these content pillars. That's a nice way to do it as well, by sharing that fresh mix of content, but also having somewhere else where you're growing your audience, like an email list. So lead magnet posts, we're essentially sharing, I've created this amazing thing, this amazing free thing. Here's the link to sign up to that. So it's as simple as that. But obviously, in the first place, you need to create this amazing thing that you're offering your customers. So that's the next content pillar. The last content pillar, so the 8th one, is engagement starters. So these are always useful because it helps you to get on the right side of the algorithm, so that when you post those engagement starter posts, the other posts that you share are then more likely to be seen. So this is kind of light-hearted, quick content that really kind of fosters that engagement with your audience. So it can be things like GIFs, right? So you could say something like, can we guess the name of your dog only using a GIF? So they have to post a GIF, and then people then guess the name, try and guess the name of their dog. It can be things like polls, so really nice and easy. You could, if you have a Facebook group particularly, these are great for that. So just posting a very, very simple question, giving them a few options, inviting them to expand on that as well in the comments. These are great for that because people they feel like it's much, much easier to just press that button, press that option, rather than writing a comment out. So you tend to get a lot more engagement on polls. Funny pet memes as well. You may find it, if it's appropriate as well, post things about funny pet memes. They always go down really, really well, whether that's on your Facebook page or everywhere else on social media. Animal quotes as well, they're always good because they tend to be quite kind of heartwarming. So you can just find, if you just do a quick search on Google for animal quotes, you're going to find tons and tons there. And you can just literally put that into a nice Canva design, just write out the quote as well in the caption and just post that as is. So there's lots of quick wins for you here to be able to make this a lot more easier for yourself when you're posting to social media. And quick questions as well. So just sharing literally a quick open-ended question to your audience, obviously that's relevant to your business as well. They always tend to go down quite well and do get a lot of engagement on those. So yeah, engagement starters are a great one, and you do want to make sure that you are filtering those through your content strategy as well. So they are the 8 content pillars. So there's lots of different pillars there that you can pull from to create your own posts for this. And it really does help to have like a weekly plan in place where you put these content pillars into the different days, and then you know exactly what you're going to be, well, not exactly, but what you're going to be posting on each of those days. It gives you a good starting point for, a ready-made strategy each week. So yeah, they are the content pillars.
Thank you, Carly. Carly, you mentioned about promotional posts and saying one of the mistakes people make is they either post too much or too little. What are some of the other mistakes, big mistakes, that pet business owners make when posting on social media?
Yeah, so I think the biggest one is inconsistency. So people aren't being consistent. They'll show up one week, maybe post a couple of posts, and then they'll disappear for maybe a week or two, and there's nothing to engage their audience. That is one of the biggest mistakes that I see time and time again, because obviously, as business owners, we're busy people. We've got a million and one things to do in the business, especially if you're doing this yourself. You're writing the content and then posting out to your social media channels. It's hugely time consuming. So I get that, it can be tricky to have that kind of daily consistency, but that's the thing that helps you get that engagement and grow your following, and also build that connection with people so that they then, look forward to your posts, but also want to then go on to buy from you. You have to be a consistent, predictable presence in people's lives. That's the main thing. But yeah, I know it's difficult, but it is the biggest mistake that I see pet professionals make time and time again. It's one of the big problems for sure.
Yeah, I have put my hand up. I've been guilty of that before,
Yeah,
definitely.
me
You know,
too.
you get focused on it, and then you post, and then something big happens, and then you just don't post anything, and then you're back in again. And
Yeah,
the hardest thing is actually just getting some form of routine. So like
yeah,
saying, like actually blocking some time to say that I'm scheduling this at this time every single day. I'm going to schedule a post. Obviously, things happen, emergencies happen, but as best as you can to try and get into some form of routine so that it's a
yeah,
regular thing that you're doing, or schedule your posts. So just sit down one afternoon and schedule posts so that there is at least something. And you can always do those ad hoc posts as you go, on top of that. So if you just get something out.
yeah. What I generally recommend is to kind of batch your content. So I do this on a weekly basis, but I would love to be able to do this, get to the point where I can do it on a kind of monthly, or even have 2 or 3 months ready to go. But just set aside just a little bit of time, maybe one afternoon, just to get like 5 posts sorted, ready to go out, and then schedule that out at the same time as well. That's what I like to do. And I don't have to worry about it the following week. So it all just happens in one go. And then you're free to, serve your clients, you're free to do other tasks in the business, or just kind of chill out as well the following week. And then all you really have to worry about is coming back into social media and commenting on those posts. Leave, if people have left comments on your post, then respond to those comments, that kind of thing. So it just makes it a lot easier and reduces some of that stress a bit when you can just set aside some of that time to get all of this done in advance.
Yeah. I like to actually separate completely content creation and the engagement that I have on social media. For me, they're like two completely separate things. So like sit down and schedule your post, and then another time go in and do engagement. And I think that's one of the big mistakes that I see a lot of vet rehabbers do. They don't actually respond to the comments. So people comment and then they don't respond. And what they don't realize is when they're not actually responding, they're actually not helping themselves. Every time they respond and then the person responds again to them, the algorithm says, oh, the people that follow you really want to see this, so they really are engaging in it. And that's what Facebook wants, is they want people to engage. They want people to comment. So when you get comments, it's really good. And you can just keep the comments going, keep the conversation. You can have a whole little conversation there. Yeah. And the more that they do that, the better. And I think also, when you're mentioning about the consistency, that's why it's so important to keep up with that, so that the algorithm is continually saying, this is important. The content that you're posting is important to your followers. And I read somewhere between 3 to 5% now is like the average reach that most people will get. So if you've got 100 followers, that means that 3 to 5 of them are seeing your post. So for every 100, you have only 3 of them are seeing your post. And that sort of makes me think, well, if we're going to be doing posts, we want to be doing really good ones, and we want to be doing ones that are actually working for us, instead of just wasting our time and posting things that are not going to help. So I wanted to chat about, just run through those pillars again. The first one you said was story, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, those ones you want to be a little bit personal. And one of the things that I was thinking is that sometimes people are a little bit introverted and maybe they're a little bit shy and they don't really want to post things that are personal about them. And I know the benefit of it, because it actually gets people to relate to you. And then when they come to you, or when they phone you and eventually have that discovery call, they feel like they know you a little bit because of all the things that you've been posting. So you actually start to build that connection with them. And people do business with you because there's something about you that they either like, or they obviously something that you've shared, if that's where they're coming from social media, they know that you can solve a problem that they have. So what do those pet business owners or vet rehabbers do when they are a little bit shy and they don't want to be sharing anything personal? How can they sort of share those stories and try and help with those connection without being too personal? Any tips?
Yeah. So this is very, very relevant to me because I'm super introverted and quite a private person, really. I'm not the kind of person that posts like personal posts to my personal Facebook profile. I don't really use that very much. I use it for business, and that's literally it. I'm not really the kind of person that uses it to, you know, post what's happening in my day or post my lunch to social media, that kind of thing. Because I find that I generally find social media quite overwhelming. It can be quite overstimulating. So I try to limit the amount of time that I spend on social media as much as possible, because it's quite, it's just draining. It drains my energy. So I totally get that. But in terms of sharing those personal stories, it just takes a little bit of time. So for me, I never used to share anything personal, even the business side of things. I just wouldn't. I was a bit like, are people going to want to hear this? Like, are people going to want to hear this? Is this just going to be really weird, me sharing this? But what I suggest is just kind of dip your toe in with something that doesn't feel too personal to you, and then just let people in. Just open the door just a little creak to let people in. So think about something that you could really start off with, you know, doing these personal stories, and then it'll essentially get easier and easier and easier as the more that you do it. And you'll find that actually this personal post got way more engagement than other posts. So that's what I tend to find that people find when they do share those stories. I did a engagement booster challenge, when was it, a few months ago, and this was the one. There was a whole day. The task was to share a story post, and that was the one where people just, their engagement flew. It just went right up when they shared that story post. So it really does have a massive impact. But it's just about getting over that fear a little bit of people seeing you. I think that's the fear as well, of people really seeing you, and that fear of being judged in a way. And that was a big one for me as well. And just kind of doing it anyway and testing the waters and seeing how it goes. So yeah, I just suggest that just do something that feels just a little bit brave, but don't go obviously too far into something that feels like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Or sharing something that's way too personal. And then just build on it from there. And you'll find that it'll be much easier to open it up a little bit more and a little bit more again. So just start small first of all, and then go from there.
Yeah, great advice. I think I'm very similar. I don't really post on my Facebook about like my life and what I do and what I do on the weekend and all of that. But on the business profile, I'm sort of okay to post about like having a meeting and drinking a coffee and, you know, and I think for vet rehabbers, they could just show their team having lunch together or whatever, just like quick break before we start the next treadmill, or and maybe encourage other team members to come in with you, so you're not on your own. If you've got team members, if you're on your own, then maybe you can take pictures with your clients and with your patients, so that you don't feel so it's just you know. Chatting about those engagement posts, so I call those algorithm boosters, because when you get all that engagement, like I said, you get the algorithm says, oh yeah, we must send people to this page because their followers are like engaged. And I really like to do these ones after a promotional post, because often when you do a promotional post, nothing happens. You know, you don't often get like lots of engagement on it. It's sort of like this is what we do, and then people are like, oh, okay, and then they'll go to your website and phone you, but they're not actually like commenting on the post often. So you don't get that engagement. And I found that the promotional posts often don't have the reach and engagement that the other posts have. So we try and slip those engagement or algorithm boosters in just after posts that we have to do that are promotional. Because in the end of it, you know, you're not there really just to post all the other fun posts. You're there to promote your business and to promote what you do. So you have to post those posts. But I think being sneaky about when you post them. Is that something that you do too?
Yeah, so I put a nice kind of mixture in there. But yeah, it's the same. When I know that I'm going to share something that's quite promotional and it is all about just promoting this thing, this offer, topping and tailing that, I'll have more light-hearted content, more kind of like focus on engagement. So they are, as you say, they are algorithm boosters, because they really do get people to comment on your posts. But the thing you were saying earlier as well, with people just not responding to those comments. It is so important that you do that. Is not only to boost the algorithm, but also so that your audience feels like they're heard. If you think about it from an audience perspective, they want to have some sort of interaction with you, especially if they're taking the time to comment on your post. So if you just kind of, even if you just like it or something like that, that's not enough. They want to kind of interact with you a little bit more. They want to know that, yeah, they're heard. So it's so important to do that for both of those reasons. So it's just about taking the time. So I just set aside kind of like 20-30 minutes a day just to go in and engage on people that engage with people that have commented on my posts, but also in other Facebook groups and things like that, and provide value in there. So it doesn't have to take up a lot of your time. It really doesn't. You can just kind of literally set a timer for like 20 minutes for that day. And then, as soon as that timer is up, you shut it down, you cut it all off, and that's it. No more, because you can get sucked down a bit of a black hole.
Definitely. It is. I actually find that especially on Instagram. You'll go into a hashtag and then you're just like, whoa, and you just keep going and keep going and scrolling and reels, and it's like before you know it, an hour's gone.
Yeah.
Carly is going to be joining us for a new concept that we have brought to Online Pet Health, and it's called a member huddle. And I'm really excited about this. So it's basically going to be a live and interactive workshop. And Go Hero Braces have kindly sponsored all our huddles. So thank you, Ben Blecker, for that. And Carly's going to be doing the first one, and it's really going to be helping you with your social media. So she is going to be helping with optimizing your Facebook and Instagram pages. She's going to run through those 8 content pillars again, 9 top tips for writing engaging posts. And she's also going to explain to you how to use Trello for a content calendar and library to organize and repurpose your content. And that's really, really, really helpful, because that's going to save you guys loads and loads of time. So yeah, I'm super excited for these huddles. They're going to be live. You're going to have to register for them. They are only for Online Pet Health members, so you need to be a member to be able to attend them. We're going to go into breakout rooms to discuss them. They're going to be worksheets at the workshop, so you can actually go through, and you really, at the end of it, are going to have achieved something in your social media. So you'll be able to update. Everything will be in there to be able to help you to get through all the things that you need to get your social media working for you. Carly's also created a really, really cool platform called Social on Zoomies, and she helps you actually create your content. I'm really also excited about this for vet rehabbers, because it's something that, I think if you're not somebody who has the words often, so like I'll sit there and it'll take me ages to write something. If I have to speak it, I can say it, I can speak and say it, but then I'm sitting there, I'm trying to write, and I write and I delete it, and I write and I delete it, and I go, oh no, and then I change my idea, and I'm going to let you carry on, Carly, and talk about social on Zoomies.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Socials on Zoomies is a monthly membership. So it's essentially ready-made social media templates. So the captions, so think about just the words as well that you're sharing to social media. So it's giving you like a fill in the blanks templates drawn from these 8 content pillars that you can share to engage and convert your social media following. So it helps to save you just a ton of time thinking about what to write. It's essentially like having a ready-made strategy every single month. Members, the current members have said that it takes them kind of less than an hour to create all of their social content and schedule it out for the week. So if you think about, I don't know how much time you spend writing social media content, but for me, writing it from scratch, it used to take hours and hours and hours for me to do that, to create a really good post that I know is going to be highly engaging and obviously going to convert my audience into customers. But that's what this is really about. It's focusing on highly engaging content and also giving you those call to actions and things so you can actually get customers from that, get people, picking up the phone and ringing you, or visiting your website to go and book in. So yeah, they really are, there's fill in the blanks areas so that you can make it relevant to your business. But we've got lots of different, but it's all very pet specific, but we've got lots of different pet business owners in there, from dog trainers, behaviorists, dog walkers, pet product store owners. And it's so easy to just adapt them to your business. So that's what this is all about. It's about just saving you a ton of time with your social media content. So yeah, really excited about this membership and where it's going to go and how it's going to help people as well as this grows.
Yeah, and the great thing is about it is that you can adapt the writing. So like it's sometimes you'll have to change it a bit more, and sometimes you hardly have to change it. Thank you, Carly, once again for sharing your knowledge.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time I load a new podcast. And please, if you get a moment, head over to Stitcher or iTunes and leave me a review. It's a really lonely job being a podcaster, and so the only time I get to hear from you or know that you're out there is when I get a review. And know that I read every single one of your reviews. So to those of you that have left reviews, I want to say a very, very big thank you. Every time we get a review, it really helps to get the Veterinary Rehabilitation Podcast out there to all the vet rehabbers all over the world. Alright, vet rehabbers, so if you are looking for more continuing education in the field of veterinary rehabilitation, head over to Onlinepethealth.com. Go be awesome, guys.